right, everybody, we're back. I hope you enjoyed your lunch. So we'll get right back to the training. Let me switch over to my charts, and we're going to cover about 5 minutes of a recap everybody wanted to see. This is the easiest way I've found to help people distinguish whether it's a flag or a reversal pattern. So how is this market moving right here? Aggressively or correctively?
Correctively.
Aggressively.
Aggressively.
All right. Think again. I heard the right answer. If something's moving aggressive, it's a real sharp move, right? When you think aggressive, you think of a real sharp move, right?
Corrective.
Right. So this is moving how right here?
Correctively.
When something is moving to the upside correctively, how do we anticipate it to break out?
Down.
To the downside?
Right. So you anticipate it to break out like this, right? That's typically what happens. The only time I've ever seen it not do that is when there was a news spike up. But typically you get a corrective move up and you get a breakout to the downside, right?
Yes.
So what determines whether or not this is a flag or reversal pattern? If I have an aggressive move that was up here, this is an impulse. What is this?
Correction.
And this is
Continuation.
continuation. However, if the market had been coming from this direction, this is an impulse. What is this?
Ascending channel.
Channel.
Right. And
Ascending
it makes
channel.
it do what? Reverse.
Reverse.
All right. That makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we know that a corrective move going up typically breaks to the downside. What determines if this is a flag or an ascending channel is the direction it was coming from to begin with. That makes sense?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So over here we have what kind of move?
Corrective.
Corrective. So which way would you anticipate it to break out?
Long.
Upside.
Right. So you would anticipate this. So if I were coming, if the market had shot up, you had an impulse. This is what?
Correction.
Continuation. However, if the market had been coming from this direction, we had an impulse.
Descending channel reversal.
Right. So does that help everybody?
Yes.
So we always know when it's correcting up, it typically breaks down. What's going to determine if it's a flag or if it's an ascending channel is the direction your impulse was coming from. The same thing over here. And when it's coming down, we expect it to break up. It's an ascending channel or a descending channel reversal pattern. But if the market had been moving from this way, it's a correction and we can expect a continuation. All right. Now moving on to alerts, people were asking how to set them. Let me turn on my EMAs. Turn off my MACD down here. When you go to alerts, where's my little alert thing? Here it is. All right, you have different things to choose. Okay, right here where it says value, you got EMAs and you got MACD because I don't have anything selected on the chart. Now, if I had selected this and then click alert, it gives me the option for the horizontal ray, my EMAs, or my MACD. If I choose MACD, crossing, you can put crossing up, crossing down. I just put crossing. So when it crosses the 0 line, you can have that, or when it crosses the signal line, when it crosses over, you can choose the different options. So you can play around with that. Your EMA right here, crossing down or up, you can set that as well. That makes sense to everyone?
Can you do the MACD again?
All you do is you choose MACD, you have crossing, and you can set it to crossing up or crossing down, okay? So let's look at where our MACD is right now. it's on the downside. If we were looking to buy, then you would set it to what?
Cross
If
up.
you- Yes, if
Up
you
and
if
up.
you want to buy, you want it to cross your MACD, yes?
Yes.
To the upside. So
Right.
you could put crossing up, and I could sit here and change this. Look for buy entry. So now I would know I have an alert set on my MACD, and if it crosses over like it did here, what happened when it crossed? Because we know what area we're in, it crossed 75 pips. Okay, I'm not expecting that to happen here, not right now. I'm gonna sell from the top on this. I caught it from this little channel here. But that's just to give you an example. Your alerts, just like over here where you have all your charts, you click on this, let's see, clock. And here's all your alerts. You can delete alerts or change them or whatever. I like to go here and click delete all inactive. And anything that's already hit, it goes away. All right. So that's the only things I wanted to cover with you guys to help clarify some of that. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, Gigi. I just had a question back to the alerts. I'm still not getting them on my phone. My text messaging, or not text, my
Are you
text.
signed in on your phone? Are you on the app? I downloaded the app to my phone. I get it straight to my app. Make sure if you're on the app, we've had some people had to delete the app and reinstall it because it had updated or something.
Oh,
Download
okay,
the
maybe
trading.
that's it.
Yeah, download the TradingView app, and it will come up to your phone. If you're logged in on the TradingView app here and logged in on the TradingView app on your phone, the alerts should come to your phone.
So I need to be logged in.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to know who to notify if you're not logged in. Okay.
GG,
Yes.
on the alert thing, you were talking about a zero line and one other line. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
On your MACD, there it has components, just like everything else.
In the alerts.
Yes, yes. Let me explain the MACD. You need to know what the MACD is before you understand that. I was my fault for assuming everybody knew. Your MACD has a histogram. Your histogram are your colors, right?
Yes.
All right. And this is your signal line, is that little blue line that goes in and out. In fact, I'll turn on both because different people use different MACDs. Some like the one on the bottom, some like the one on the top. One is not better than the other. These lines are your signal line and your MACD line. The histogram are the colors that go above and below. And this is the zero line. The zero line would be smack dab in the middle, right? Because this is zero, the market is balanced. When it crosses up to the upside, we're gonna buy. Down to the downside, we're gonna sell. So that's your zero line. So let's look at those alerts again. And now it's gonna give me both MACDs because I have them both on. So like MACD, that's the one on the bottom. If I wanna catch it crossing my histogram or my MACD or my signal line, those are my options. Okay, for the other one, it gives me the signal line, the zero line, which is the same thing. They just coded it different. That's your zero line in the middle. All right. That makes sense to everyone?
Yep, that helped a lot. Thank you.
Those are the components. And a lot of people, they try to get these early entries based on like Terrell was showing you earlier, that when these cross, it's doing the same as these up here. They sort of run hand in hand together. They cross sort of like when the 9 and 50 cross, and that's it. That's how you set alerts. All right, Terrell, you ready?
Before I get back into everything, does anybody have any questions?
What happens with Rankos when the news makes it surge?
I mean, same thing that happened with candles. If it shoot up, it's gonna spike up. If it shoot down, it's gonna spike down.
Okay.
Yep.
I have a question. I don't know if you were going to go over this. I'm not trying to jump ahead, but do you actually go any lower than the 1 hour on your Rankos?
Yeah, I was gonna get into.
Okay, I just didn't know.
Oh no, it's all good. Any other questions? Okay. All right, so let's dive back down into it, right? So going to Rankos, up to 1 hour. 1 hour is golden for me. Now, let's say for instance, right here. Can we all agree this is a down move?
Yes.
Right here? Okay, cool.
No doubt.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's go down to, I like the 5 minute. I really like the 1 minute when it comes to Rankos because again, slower. So 1 minute cross on my Rankos, 1 minute cross on my Rankos is like Gigi was saying earlier, it's like a 5 minute cross on my candles, right? So you all know I love the 5 minute time frame on candles. So that's why I pretty much love the 1 minute on Rankos. But because you all are new to this, I don't want to go too deep because the smaller the time frame you go into, the more advanced you'll be getting into. So, that's nothing that you all want to actually, you don't want to just come in a gate thinking 1 minute, right? So you all are already well ahead of the game when it comes to, going on smaller time frames anyways. This is stuff that, heck, I don't even, honestly, when I was training with my mentor, we never dropped down to smaller time frames. At the time, his entries was always based off of, heck, a lot of his entries is still based off higher, but like for the most part, he never went to the smaller time frame. So this is just stuff that like overall I started to study and things like that. Toward now, myself, him, like we all progressed to actually learn more and more about time frames. So anyways, with that being said, now, let's say with this down move, let me go back to the 1 hour real quick. Y'all stay with me. This down move right here, correct? So with this down move, let me think, is this a good example? Nah, you know what? We're not going to go off that down move. Let's go off this up move first. Let's do that. Because I'm not sure how it looks on the smaller time frame, but I'm going to just... So based off of Rankos on the 1 hour, what is this right here telling me? Somebody tell me.
Have your crossover to the upside.
So I should be looking for what at that point?
Buys.
Buy.
Correct? Okay, cool. So let's drop down to that smaller time frame and let's go look for that cross. Right? Cool. So I have that cross right there. This is actually not the greatest example either, just for the simple fact that price is very aggressive here. But we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. Now, if you're somebody like me who understand all of this, originally, you see how this, what does this line represent right here? That I'm highlighted over? What does
Isn't that the 1 hour cross?
Exactly. You see, this is the 1 hour cross. Look at my 5 minute. See how far I crossed before that? When you start getting to a certain level, you'll be able to catch that same move 100 pips prior to your, your 1 hour. But I just want to point that out. That's not my point of coming, but I just want you all to understand time frames. That's why, again, the most important thing with time frames, understanding with trading, is time frames. Because you understand before the 1 hour cross, you got to get the 5 minute cross. When you get the 5 minute cross, you can catch it earlier. But the 1 hour cross is like golden for me because that officially lets me know price is going into that direction, right? So I just want to throw that out there. But with that being said, with this being said right here, with this telling me that my 1 hour has crossed. So now at that point, I know I'm looking for a buy, correct? Now, based off what we learned about entries, where do we actually enter the market?
On the correction.
On the flag, right? On the correction. So from this entry, can anybody tell me where my correction was?
It was back down.
You said back down?
At the red bars.
No, it's up
Right.
a little bit more.
Right. Somebody is alluding to this. You're not wrong when you say this, but remember, we didn't get our 1 hour cross yet. So at this point, we're waiting for that 1 hour cross. This is our 1 hour cross here. So our correction is right here. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, now let's zoom in some. So I enter in what? The correction, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Now what the question is, well, how do I know, looking at Rankos, when my correction is over? That is a great question. All I typically do, we can all agree this is a flag, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, cool. Now all you do is look at this flag. You see how your red bricks went underneath your 9 EMA right here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right. So that's letting me know price is heading down. It's in an overall buy still, because why? It's above my, well, number one, it's above my 1 hour 50 EMA. That's number one. But number two is because, hold on, where did I go? Why did my trend line just leave? Y'all see that? Let me go back to the 1 hour. Sorry, that just threw me off. So right here, all right, 5 minute. Maybe. Okay, that's my fault. Duh, moment. My bad, y'all. Like I said, I didn't think that much time went by in Rankos. Rankos is a lot slower, so it doesn't move like candles where you have to, every 5 minutes it actually switches to a new brick. It don't switch to a new brick unless price gets to a certain area. So I wasn't expecting to have to scroll over that much or whatever. But anyways, my fault. Duh, moment. Anyways, the point is you see how those red bricks came underneath your 9 EMA? Let me zoom. Can you all see that?
Yes.
See how once it started coming down, it went through the 9 EMA and came underneath it?
Yeah.
Yep. Now, what I typically wait for is 2 full bricks that go back above your 9 EMA. So what do I mean? Right here. Is this 1 full brick above your 9 EMA?
No,
Say that again.
it's not above.
Right. It's not above at all. It's actually on top. So I don't count that. Is this one above your 9 EMA?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one. What about this one?
Yes.
Yeah. Entry here, stop loss here. That's my entry. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now again,
Yes.
now I catch this impulse, right? Guess what? Another flag happens. Look what happens with that flag. What happened? Can somebody tell me?
It's pulling back and your EMA is above your red candles.
Exactly. Well, it's underneath. My red candles is underneath.
Yeah, underneath.
Yeah, my green candles. So do I enter here?
No.
No.
What about right here?
No.
No.
What about right here?
No.
What
Yes.
about here?
Right there.
Nope, I do not. This is only 1 full brick above. Remember, this one is on top of it. It's on the blue. It's on the blue 9 EMA. So this is 1 full brick above. This is second. So my entry, remember, this is on top. 1, 2, entry here. That's my second above my 9 EMA. Stop loss here. Entry here. Ready for the ride. Does that make sense?
Can you magnify that just a
Yeah.
little bit so I can see it a little clearer, please?
See it now?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
See how this is on top? So we got 2 bricks that's underneath it. So I'm not even looking to enter that. Then I got 1 brick that's on top of the 9 EMA. Then I got 1 that's above it. But I need how many to confirm it?
2.
2. That's my entry. Stop loss at the Deer's low. Ready for the ride, right? Does that make sense?
Terrell? Terrell?
Yeah.
Why, when the red crossed the blue initially, more towards the bottom? Yeah, no, a little lower, right there. When the red crossed the blue there, why wouldn't we get in for the buy then if that's when it crossed?
Do anybody want to say that? Answer that one?
It's not on your hour chart.
Exactly. You saw this cross on your 5 minute. Remember, this right here represents my 1 hour cross. The 1 hour cross is the golden one. Like you can, once you get to a certain level, I kind of just mentioned that. Once you get to a certain level of understanding of Rankos and structure, and it's all pieced together and you understand it, you can catch this cross. There's nothing wrong with you catching this cross here. But this cross right here is my go ham cross. This is the cross where it officially tells me, like right here, this cross right here is, remember, I just dropped time frames. It's this cross right here. That's all that is. So your 5-minute cross somewhere down in this area. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we enter Renko trades on the 1 hour time frame.
You don't enter on the 1 hour time frame. You let the 1 hour set up for the cross. Then you drop down to the smaller time frame to enter. Just like what we do on when we was on candles before you all even knew Rankos existed. What did we do? We marked up. What did the monthly, weekly, daily tell us?
Where we were in the
What you
market.
looking for?
A buy or sell. What did the 4 hour, 1 hour tell us?
When it's
When
ready,
it was ready.
And what did we do after that?
When it was good to
Look
hit.
to get in.
go to the lower time frame to get in.
Right. So why would we do anything different with Rankos? It's the same exact thing. Rankos is telling us, Rankos cross is telling us it's ready, right? Now that I know it's ready, now I'm looking for what? I drop down and start looking for what?
Your entry.
Entry.
There you go. It's no difference. Don't take remember, like I said last week, Sunday, I'm saying the same exact thing all the way through. It's nothing. I'm not saying anything new. There's nothing new with this. So I look at the 1 hour and I wait for the cross. And now I wait for a flag to form. Once I get that flag to form, now I officially know. Now remember how I told you on candles, I may have entered here on candles with a 10 cent, 20 cent lot size. But now that I got this cross now, this flag right here has officially, this is my go ham entry here. This is when it's time for me, because I got this cross. Now it's time for me to, I ain't telling nobody to go risk their account, but hey, you looking to make 6 figures with penny lot sizes and 2 cent lot sizes. Not saying it's not possible, but man, it's gonna take a while. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hey, Terrell, I missed a little bit. You were saying about the entry. So I see the setup, the cross is on the 1 hour, then you're going to enter on the 5 minute, but what you're looking for on that 5 minute is you're waiting for your flag to form, and then you get in, and you got to wait for the 2 bricks to be under the blue line. I missed a little bit. I had some computer issues.
And in this case, it's not underneath the blue line, it's above it. Remember, we're in the buy. We was in the sell.
Okay.
It'll be underneath. I'll show you
Okay.
all the example in a second, but I want to make sure you all understand that.
Terrell.
Does that make sense?
Terrell, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so with the Rankos, like it doesn't cross as much as with the regular candles. So how do you can't set alerts to make sure that you do see it when it crosses?
Well, I mean, remember, we're on a smaller time frame. So
No, like on the hour, I mean. So what I'm saying is it'll cross several times on the 1 hour on the regular candles, but not so much on the Rankos.
right. So I mean, with that being said, all you have to do is frequently just wait for the cross.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know, if I see it's nearing that area, I'm just paying attention to it at that point. Like Rankos is slow, so it's gonna take some time. So when it's close to it, you'll know okay, I need to make sure I'm paying attention to this.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. So does everybody understand that part so far before I kind of get into another quick part that I want to get into?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Terrell, you didn't really answer my question. I was asking you at the beginning of the entry on the you're waiting for the flag, because I missed a little bit. I was actually asking you a question.
Question. If I'm not mistaken, you answered your question. I just confirmed with it, but
Oh, I didn't understand. I didn't know that you confirmed it because I missed it when you was explaining it.
no.
Okay.
You said above.
Okay.
You said 2 bricks above. Well, you said underneath, and I said
Right.
depending on So I confirmed.
Right. So we're in a buy. but you do wait for that little pullback on the 5 minute before jumping in.
Of course, like no different from structure. You enter in a flag, you wait for the flag to happen. That's all this is a flag.
Okay.
So once the flag happened, then you wait for 2 full bricks above your EMA, then you enter.
Okay, got it.
Does make sense?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So now we got that part. I want somebody right here. What is this? Can somebody tell me this?
It's a correction.
A flag.
Flag.
Flag, right? We can all agree this is a flag, correct?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right, based off of this uptrend. So let me zoom in. Based off of this flag right now, do I enter here?
Nope. Can you zoom in a little bit more? Just a little bit.
No.
All right.
No?
Nope.
No, you don't enter there.
Hold on. So, okay, I don't enter there. Let me delete that. Do I, wait, didn't I just delete that? Hold on. All right. Do I enter here?
No.
No.
Nope.
No.
No.
Okay, cool. Why don't I enter there?
You said two blocks,
Still touching
and
it.
it's not above. It's not above.
Yeah,
it.
it's on top of the.
Top of it.
On
Yeah.
top. Okay,
On
cool.
top of the EMA.
What about here?
Not yet.
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Why don't I enter there?
Still touching
Well,
the
you want
touching
two
the line.
candles to close.
2 blocks.
You want 2 candles to close.
Okay, cool. So what about right here?
Yes, you
Yes.
Yes.
I
No.
wouldn't.
No,
I would
not
not.
yet.
Candle.
Hold
I
on.
would not.
Don't catch it above the red line.
Okay, hold on. Let's see what we got. Okay, hold on. Give me 1
I would
second.
not enter there.
Let me go to the chat.
Above the-
If you say yes, type yes. If you say no, type no.
I thought we wait for the flag on the 1 hour. The setup on the 1 hour candle.
Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. No, 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 yes. A few yeses, mostly no's. Okay, cool. Great job. Great job. No, we do not enter here. So the reason why we do not enter here, do somebody want to answer that?
Yes.
Because you don't have
It
your,
hasn't
your
crossed yet.
crossover.
Exactly. We do not have our 5-minute cross right here. That did not cross. We would enter once we see this cross. We do not have to wait till price goes 2 full bricks above here. In this case, we just wait for the cross. This is our entry for our continuation. Now, somebody just asked about the 1 hour. At this point, we don't need to look at the 1 hour. Why don't we need to look at the 1 hour, guys?
Because we already got our alert on the 1 hour and we
got our
down
alert
to the
that
5
we was in
minutes.
the overall buy. At this point, we're just looking for entries on smaller time frames. This is one area I can enter, a second entry. Now I'm just looking for a third area to enter. Does that make sense? Our 1 hour is irrelevant to us right now. We know based off of our 1 hour, we're good for the buys. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But
Okay.
also too, Terrell, you were above the red line the whole time, so you could have just kept going, right?
Say that again.
You were above. You're in a buy the whole time, so because your MACD stayed above, so you could have just rode it out, right?
No, we're riding it out. We're just showing. I'm showing people who, let's say they didn't catch this entry. They didn't catch this. This is the one that they caught. Or let's say, for instance, they caught this and they caught this, but they're looking for another entry.
Okay. All right. Got it. Thanks.
All right. But no, that's a great job, guys. You do not enter 2 full bricks above right here if it's underneath your 50 EMA. Because all this is telling me is what? This is a bigger correction. Remember, a higher time frame was due for a flag right here. That's what created a 5-minute downtrend, right? So let's go the same area right here. Let's go to the 15-minute. So it went underneath on your 15-minute too as well. So let's drop to the 30-minute. Remember, every time frame has its flags. Look at the 30-minute. look, beautiful flag, did not go underneath your red EMA on your 30-minute. It was just a 30-minute flag. That's it. A 30-minute flag caused a slight downtrend on my 5-minute. So I just had to be patient enough to wait for that. Give me 1 second. Dang, it's like I'm scrolling over more and more for whatever reason. All right. 5-minute, 5-minute. Now, I know I did not scroll over this much on Rinkos. Maybe I did. That's crazy. But anyways, with that being said, does that make sense, guys?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect sense. So all you got to do is just wait for, in this case, this entry, for me, is easier for me because all I'm looking for is just a cross instead of me trying to count bricks, right? So this isn't hard. This entry isn't hard at all, but this is just easier. This is easy. This is easier. And that's all you do. So that's all you're doing when it comes to entries. Now, just really, really quick. I guess I'm gonna scroll over even more on Rankos on the 1 minute. But
Excuse me, Terrell.
Uh-huh.
How do we get out with as much profit as possible?
We kind of went over that, but remember.
Oh, I'm sorry. I watched your video. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You remember the 1 hour tells us. Remember, we're trading off the 1 hour. We're trading off the higher time frame. We're using a low. Stop letting these time frames confuse y'all. The lower time frame is just us focused on our entry. So if I enter in this area, when do I start looking to get out of that entry or get out of that?
It's your next zone or your TP, that's your TP area.
Well, no, just to answer his question even more. Think about that.
9 and 50 cross.
At the cross.
If I got this cross right here, price went up 700 pips before it even thought about crossing back underneath.
Okay.
So you just got to be knowledgeable enough to know this blue line is nowhere near this red line. Remember, I'll trade off the 1 hour. Down here is those are just entry areas. Like I told y'all, when I was in UCAT at the beginning of the year, the first week of the year, I didn't even look at my money. I didn't care. I was just trying to see what his 9 EMA was towards his 50. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So like if I was in a buy right now, let's say I was in a buy right here. Let's say I caught this buy. When would I get out?
First pullback?
Not until you have
When
a
the MACD
crossover or your
cross.
MACDs are crossing.
Your MACD crossed the 0 line.
I got out I just got out yesterday. Yesterday. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Hey, will you drop them a vertical line for the ones who are missing it? Guys, when it's crossing over at the top, it's also crossing over at the bottom. You got those simultaneous crosses. It's no different than when you would get out using candles. This is just cleaning up the market for you.
Right. Just clearing everything up. So we got this cross October 10th. That's a month and a half ago. Yesterday was what? The 22nd? We just got the cross. So you want to know how can you maximize your potential? This is the area I would have started looking to get out. A month and a half. Now, some people can't last a day and a half in the market, an hour and a half in the market. You got to start having real conversations with yourself. It's easy to say, well, how do I maximize it? But are you willing to have the patience? This takes out all the mess, like Gigi just said. This takes out all the fear in swing trading. I don't have to look at the money. If I know I entered in this area, I know this blue line is nowhere near that red line. I'm just going to just keep holding. I don't even look at price. I don't even look and see what my money is. I can care less because I'm focused on the skill, not the money. The skill is telling me I'm good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, guys, just remember what he's showing you right now is not a scalping strategy. Keep in the back of your mind, he's teaching you how to catch This was over a 1,200 pip move with multiple entries. You just turned 1,200 pips into 2,500 pips. Why are you out there trading 10 pairs when you can stack this and catch 2,500 pips? Because you know what it's doing.
That's it. Any questions with any of that?
Question, Terrell. On the 5 minutes, wouldn't you have the cross on the 5 minutes before you have the cross on the 1 hour, even though we're trading off the 1 hour?
Yeah, I mentioned that as well.
Okay.
All right. So, I mean, I'll just delete everything so y'all not confused. This cross right here, I showed you all how it was on the 5 minute. That cross had already happened. All right. This is our 1 hour cross. Look what the 5 minute cross was. The 5 minute cross is here. It's 100 pip difference. Now, when you get to a certain point, when you understand what? Market structure is key. Because remember, market structure told me I was looking for a buy before I got that 1 hour cross. I knew a buy was coming. So this 5 minute cross, because of market structure, told me, man, that buy is officially started. Hey, that's the 5 minute buy. Remember, Rankos is slow. Here's the 1 minute buy. 1 minute buy is right here, even lower. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, I don't want to confuse y'all by going into these time frames, but understand, before anything happens, it has to happen on the 1 minute first. Then, before it happens on the 5 minute, it got to happen on the 3 minute after. Then, it got to happen on the 5 minute before it happened on the 15. Then it got to happen on the 30 before it happens on the 45. The hour, the 2 hour, like whatever. I don't look at the 30 or the 45 and all. I'm just saying these time frames are like, they got seconds now. It had to happen on the 1 second before it happened on the 1 minute. When you understand that and your eye starts really reading the market properly, there will be no stopping you. You will understand all of it. Everything will be one big puzzle and you will know where the pieces are going. I literally get in trades now where I will hop in on 1 minute crosses, 0 drawdown. And we catching 500 pips. All because of Rankos crosses. We catching 1,000 pip moves. All because of Rankos crossing. I will get the very beginning of the, because just like I showed you all, the 5 minute flags and above the EMAs and all of that, it's the same exact thing when it comes to your 1 minute. And guess what? I get 2 full bricks on the 1 minute before I get a 5 minute 2 full bricks. Because remember, like Gigi said, my 5 minute candles is my 1 minute Rankos. Plain and simple. But you have to understand that first. Don't just go like, man, it's easy when people try to just, man, I don't want 0 drawdown either. But then you freak out because you down 10 pips and you down $100. Because you ain't paying attention to what you're doing. You only down 10 pips and you're going crazy. But you see $100, you don't see 10 pips. All right? So understand it first. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey guys, and if you didn't while this was going live, make sure when you rewatch it, you write down these notes. Because some of the stuff you're asking like 2 or 3 times, he's already covered. And if you don't write it down, you're gonna forget it. And you're gonna have to go through the videos looking for it. So that's why I told everybody to get like a 5-subject notebook. You should have a tab just for Rankos. Rankos deserves its own tab. Entries deserves its own tab. Everything. So make sure y'all are writing this down. If you write it down with a blue ink pen, you remember it more. But just make sure you're keeping notes. If you write this down, you won't have to keep asking yourself the same questions, and you'll be able to go back and find it. So I don't want y'all, he's giving you a lot of good information, and it's a lot to consume in like one session. So make sure you got notes.
Gigi, can
Yes,
I ask a
ma'am.
question?
Mhm.
What happened is when I was looking at him on the 1 hour chart, and then he started showing the 5 minute area, I didn't know if that was pre-marked up or how he knew it was 5 minutes?
Oh, no, I wasn't even speaking to you specifically. I'm just saying.
No, just
make
me.
sure.
That was a question I just had in general.
Yeah,
Looking at it.
just remember the Rincos is just like the candles. His 1 hour is just his confirmation.
Right.
Anything under that, he's just giving you good entries because you don't want to enter off the 1 hour. That 1 hour, he's just telling you now is time. We've probably already entered the market on the candles, right?
Right.
Now, when it crosses on the 1 hour Rincos, it means we can trade more aggressively because we know we've got a full-blown reversal in the market.
Right.
And we can hold it long term. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question. Once you marked it on the hour time frame, and then you go down to your 5 minute, is it going to be right at that line? It's going to be less. It's going to be further down on the 5 minutes. It's going to be the market, the actual market is going to be at that line, or is it going to be further down on the 5 minute?
Well, it can't be further down because it's already happened. You can't go back and enter on the past. Where he marked that yellow line.
That's the alert. I think that's where some may be getting the confusion. That's the alert, right?
That's signify. I'll let Terrell tell you. Go ahead.
What alert? There is no alert. Look, this line right here. What is this line representing to me, guys?
That's when you want to enter.
Crossing. That's when it's
That's the
crossing
cross.
an hour.
That's the right.
So at this very moment, when I see this, what do I say in the back of my head?
It's time to drop down to your entry time frames.
No, I'm not saying that. That's what I'm doing. What am I saying in the back of my head?
It confirmed
It had already. It's confirming it's about to go to.
Go ham. Just think. Go ham.
Not even.
Oh, I see your crossovers.
Exactly. So in the back of my head, I'm thinking my buy is officially here. Remember,
Yes.
my buy is officially here. So now somebody answered it. What am I doing now?
Now dropping down to your entry time frame.
Exactly. So to answer somebody's question about the past or whatever, like Gigi's just said, how can this just happen? This just happened. So if this just happened where price is currently at, where my line is at, how can I go back here and enter back here? This already happened. I'm officially here now.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
So now at this point, I'm looking for my entry. And when I'm looking for my entry, what do I look for?
The EMA to be underneath.
Nope, listen.
You're looking for your pullback.
Exactly. Don't go confusing yourself. We enter in where?
The flag.
Inside the flag. So I'm looking for a flag to get ready to form. That's it. That's all. My first flag that forms, that's the time where, like Gigi just said, I'm looking to get ready to start going ham. Now I'm just looking for the proper time to look for that flag. That's it. No need to over confuse yourselves. No need to none of that. All I know is my 1 hour is telling me I'm officially in my buy. Now I'm about to drop down. Now I just need to find a flag to find my profit entry. That's it. Does that make sense?
I just had an aha moment. I understand.
Yes, perfect sense.
There you
I
go.
sure did too.
Right. I told y'all, like, man, what we do, and I run into people all. I guess that's why I'm like this now, because I growing up, I ran into so many people. Like my community, like we would talk ourselves out of everything because of what could happen or what could not happen. Whatever. It's just our mind tell us so much stuff in a matter of a second. We talk ourselves out of going to pick up $10,000 on the floor. Like that's what we do. So do not confuse this. All it is this cross tells me I'm officially in that trend. Drop down, now I need a flag. You already know based off of what we went over last week that flags are the areas we actually enter the market in. We already know that. Now all you need to know and what we're here talking about is when to enter in the flag on Rankos. That's it. That's it. Told you, everything adds up. You already know you enter in the flag based off of last week. Now, because you know you enter in the flag, now how do I enter in the flag with Rankos? Incorporate adding Rankos into that. And that's what it is. You wait for those 2-4 bricks over your EMA or under your EMA, depending on if you're looking for a sale. So like in this case, I mean, not saying this is an official sale, but I'm just giving you an example. This went down, right? See that flag right here? You wait for 2-4 bricks above, then you enter that right there. So not saying that's the official sale, but I'm just saying like it's the same things, just opposite. That's it. Don't go confusing yourselves. Like typically what happens is, and this is me at the Bob Proctor event, because he hits you with so many mental things, it's crazy. Like your mind starts hurting. Like you all have to, your brain is nothing but a muscle. We all know that. But for whatever reason, we don't look at it as a muscle when we think about it. Just like when you're working out at the gym and you lifting weights, what happens after, if you haven't been using those muscles for a while, what happens the next day?
You sore.
You're really, really sore. You really, really sore even that day, depending on what you're doing. You're really, really sore. So if you're using your brain muscles, guess what your brain is gonna be? Sore. You're gonna get a headache. You're gonna get lazy. You're gonna be tired. You're overwhelming yourself. Don't overwhelm yourself trying to figure, well, what about when this? Like, take all of that out. I understand you got questions. We don't mind answering the thing, but some questions you don't have to, don't like understanding why don't you get in behind, because like we didn't get the cross yet. That's it. All you focus on is the cross and the flag. Cross and the flag. Cross and the flag. Make sense?
Sir.
Yes.
All right. Any other questions?
I got a question real quick. What Gigi had told us, explained to us at the beginning, how she was going through like what 1 hour Renko was for the 4-hour candlesticks. If we were watching this and we want to drop down for our entry on a 5-minute Renko, we can have a side by side with our 15 minutes. If it's the same, we can see the same setup. We can actually go from there as well, just to see like it actually moving out of that flag or going into the impulse.
I mean, yeah, you can if that's like what you want to do.
Just to train my eye, just to see like.
Yeah, but just remember, on Renkos, you're just going to see those red bricks coming down. Over on your candles, you're going to see that actual flag, like red, green, red, green, red, green.
Right.
That makes sense.
A lot of fluctuating. Like, let me go to it. I mean, this is great back testing. Great for back testing as well. Matter of fact, let me go to the 1 hour so I can find it first, and then. 1 second. Read everything here so y'all not confused. Hey, so I'm not confused for real. This was the uptrend right there. And I believe this was the flag for the 30-minute. Yep, see? Just like that. So now drop down to the 5-minute on this time frame. And we go find that on the 5-minute. Oh, you said the 15-minute.
Yes, 15-minute.
Right, okay. Let's go to the 15-minute on there again. Oh, right there. Same exact thing. Again, just a bigger flag. So this is a lot. Like some people will ask, like for me personally, one of my questions would be, like if I didn't know, my question would be, well, how do I know when to enter on the candles flag outside of Renko's flag? Doesn't it look a lot easier to enter on Renko's? Like that understanding of when to enter on Renko's than on the candle flag right here? I know on Renko's when it crosses here, but on here, like if I wanted to enter up here or somewhere, I'm not sure when. So what I would typically do on a flag like this, I told you when I gave you all the example of UCAD, I just wait for the break. So for the break, but on Renko's, you enter at that cross. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yep.
So, but again, me personally, I'm not doing this is more like, this is great for back testing, but in real time, I don't want to have to do all of this when I'm looking for it's just too much going on for me. For me personally, I told y'all, I'm very basic. Like, that's just how I am. I try to see how I can dumb things down. If something's dumb, I'm trying to see how I can make it dumber. You know what I'm saying? I just want to dumb it down to where I have the least amount of stress as I possibly can.
Wait, did you say if
Can I ask
something's
a
dumb, you're gonna
question?
make it dumber? I like that.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question since we dumbing it all the way down? Is it fair to say that how you're showing us on Rinko is getting in on the retest versus getting in on that super early risky entry? No.
Ask that again.
Okay, so on the regular candles, see where it you don't enter at the early entry. Like if we were on our entry time frame, you don't get in at the early entry at the top. You would get in on the retest, and that's what it looks like to me. Where on Renko, that long trend line is your hour trend line. So that's actually your retest.
I think you confuse yourself.
Yeah, I know what she's saying.
Am I?
I know
Yes,
what
help
she's
me,
saying,
Gigi.
Terrell.
What
I'm
you
just
know
making a
how
comparison. Like I'm making a comparison.
getting in on the 5-minute candles where he shows us, yes, we're taking the bounces from the top or the bottom. Rinko's is giving you a more definite answer. We know
Okay.
now it's actually time to get in.
Okay.
Okay. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, she answered me. Thank you.
Okay. Because I'm about to say, yeah, right? Okay, I think I kind of understand it a little, but
Yeah, you know how you told her that that's the risk-taking entry when we catch the bottoms, because it could still come and wick us out a little bit or pull back like it did on that NZD USD.
Right.
So now you got your Rinko's cross that has confirmed it.
That's the part that's confusing me.
Yeah.
Nothing inside of a flag is a risk-taking entry. The risk-taking entries are only in ascending and descending patterns because they can create new highs and new lows. I never said entering in the flag is a risky entry. Does that make sense? That's the part that threw me off.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now, what you meant to say was the best possible entry inside the flag. Because a flag is a flag.
Exactly.
Flag, what'd you say?
No, I'm listening.
Yeah, a flag is a flag. So, like me getting in this flag right here, if I got in down here, I don't call this a risky entry, right? That's just a no-no for me. I want to catch in this buy, I want to catch the bottom of it. But overall, that's an 85 pip move but at the end of the day, I know it's still gonna go here. I know it's still gonna shoot up. What I was talking about as far as risky entry is not NZD USD, but something like gold. Me entering here, just like this is the bottom, right?
Correct.
As you can see, this bottom created what? New bottoms. This is risky.
Oh, okay.
A flag, that's the question that was being like, that's what threw me off with the question when you said risky entry. So I'm like, no, like nothing in the flag I ever said that's a risky entry. It's not risky because it's a flag. A flag is a confirmation for what?
Continuation.
Exactly. So at some point I know it's continuing, but in the flag, I want the best possible entry in the flag. Even if I enter in the middle of a flag, it's not risky. I just don't want that much drawdown.
Understood.
Make sense?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. But yeah, any other questions? No questions? Everybody good? Everybody understand it to a T now? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this is what I want y'all to do really, really quick. I want one person to share their screen. First person who shared, that's who it is. Cool. All right. Enhance. Go to one, let's go to GBP USD. Don't split it up, just one screen. So everybody get a clear picture of it. No, yeah, there you go. Any drawings, anything on there? Delete it. Delete any drawings on there. Delete everything. And go to how?
I'm sorry, I have a quick question regarding the EMAs. I'm not having to look finding those EMAs when I type them into the indicators.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let's go over this real quick, and then I got you. Wait, you're not the person who sharing the screen, are you?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm about to say. All right, so now pull up your proper indicators for Rankos. I didn't know you was gonna delete the. I just want you to delete your drawings, not like your indicators and all that, just like your trend lines and all that. Actually, you can, for whoever just asked that question, you can actually watch them pull everything up. So moving average, and moving average again, a second moving average you just added, and then you go to your settings, and you can actually modify your settings. So you got your 9, you can make it whatever color you want. Me personally, my 9 is blue. You can do whatever color you want to do it. And you click the next one, go to the actual settings, and then you just change it to 50. I'm talking to the person who just asked the question, just so you can see what they're doing. Change the color to whatever color. Mine is red. And you can change the thickness if you want, all of that, right? So you can see it nice and clear when it crosses. Boom. And then you add your MACD. Just click it, and there you go. Bingo. Just kill 2 birds with 1 stone right with that one. Thank you for that. So, okay, cool. So go to your 1 hour. Show me your most recent trend, your uptrend, your most recent uptrend, and where it started. Put a trend line there. So everybody else, I see it, so we want everybody else to see it. The cross, identify the cross, not the entire trend, I'm sorry. Identify the cross. Is that where it crossed? Go down a little bit more. The exact time it crossed. Bingo, right there, that cross. Okay, cool. So do me a favor, drop down to your 5 minute. Yeah, so it's a little ways over. There you go, right there. So now with that cross, don't do anything yet. Don't do anything at all. This is what I have my private students do for their homework, and I want you to do it. I want you to zoom out a little bit so you can see a little bit more. A little more, a little more. Okay, that's good. That's good. We're just, because you're probably gonna have to end up zooming in. I forgot it's just not, just us on here. So you probably end up having to zoom in. But what I want you to do, really, and no rush or whatever, I want you to identify the exact areas of your entries on this Rankos. Based off of the screen we see now, we see where we got the cross. Now I want to see every entry based off of each flag pattern. So what would your first entry be at? Don't show me with a trend line. That's what I want you to do. Show me with a trend line. Bingo. Beautiful. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Everybody understand that?
Maybe
Can
zoom
we
in a
go
little
back?
bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Can we go back over that one more time? Sorry.
She's showing us the very first entry, what we would get in once we got that 1 hour cross. Do you see why she showed that area? Yes, no? Nobody can see that?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. Now, show us your next area where you will actually enter. With a trend line. And why would that one be the next area?
Okay, so let me talk. I unmuted myself. I got in here on this one. Oh, this one is the next one. I missed one.
Yep, you definitely did. There you go. That's an entry area as well, right? Now, this is about to be the tricky one. This is about to be the tricky one. Go to your next area where you would look to enter the market. Nope, we already in that area. We already in. Now, why would I have entered there?
Because it's still above. Well, it's still above, so it's still above, so I would still be in it.
Yep.
In other words, so this would be the next entry, maybe over here.
Okay.
I'm thinking because it came down, but it didn't even course through. So wait, hold on one second.
And just so y'all know, like, this is perfect. What she's doing, these are definitely like, somebody's probably thinking, well, why would I enter there if it this and that? You don't know that at the time. You don't know, right? So that's why we have stop losses. Your stop loss now, based off of that entry, now, because at this point, I really know I'm in a flag. Why? It shoots underneath my 50 EMA. So based off of that, where do I enter there? Show me. Now, why did you choose right there? Tell me why you chose there.
Well, I'm trying to fix it first.
Okay.
Okay, so it coursed above, and I was waiting for, as soon as it coursed above it, when it coursed here, I waited for 2 above, about right there.
Okay, cool. So that's beautiful. Only thing I say different is you don't have to wait for 2 above. All you needed to wait was for that cross because it was
the continuation.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Anybody had any questions with that?
So were those
Yes.
other entries, were they opportunities where you see the pullbacks, the flags?
Yeah, they was out like you wasn't wrong for you actually entering those. You just would have been in a little negative for a while. Go pull your ruler up.
Hold on.
Now from that first entry you did.
My ruler, you want my ruler?
Yeah, the ruler. Put your back on full screen so everybody can see.
Okay, hold on. Let me put this down here.
Now remember, at this point, that first area, she done already entered the market 3 times. 2 times. She already entered 2 times. Now go to the third one.
Right here?
No, not there. Go to the first time you entered the market.
Oh.
I mean, not the first time. I'm sorry. The flag. Somebody just asked about. Matter of fact, I'm gonna share my screen. That's actually a great job, though.
Okay, thank you.
Give me 1 second. That was a GU you were just on, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Somebody asked, where's the stop loss? I'll show you. 1 second. So we was just on, find that area. All right. She identified, I believe it was this uptrend right here. Wasn't it this uptrend, correct? The one you showed?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yep. This is our cross here. So drop down to the 5 minute. There's our cross. So she identified that this was an entry. This was an entry, right? Then we talked about the next entry, right? Somebody asked, we got 2 full bricks right here. This is our entry. Somebody asked, where would our stop loss go? So stop loss typically goes somewhere underneath your previous low, which is this right here. If you want to, you can go a little lower. So remember, this is Renko, so this is pure price. Stop loss at about 15 pips. Take profit would have been, at that point, we was up 20 pips, whatever the case may be, right? But also understanding that, like, based on what you see right here, you see like a flag is forming. So a 30 pip stop loss or whatever the case may be, you'd have been good when it's all said and done. So this could have been your next entry and you would have just sat in red some. You'd just been in red, that's it. Doesn't matter. Actually, you'd have been in blue before you sat in red. You'd have been up 30 pips before it ended up dropping. So if you up 30 pips, what should you always do?
Move up your stop loss.
That's it. Move up your stop loss. Stop loss. If it comes back and hits your stop loss, your moving stop loss, are you mad?
No.
Of course you're not. Now you're just looking for another entry. But now that it came back and hit your moving stop loss, or maybe you took some profits, whatever. I don't know. Now you even better because now you clearly see what happened in this flag. Can anybody tell me?
Another cross.
So we're going to go like this. This was our entry. And remember, by the time it came back, we saw it hit us out at break even, or we took our profits for the most part. But now we saw, like somebody just said, we saw this cross. So now it's underneath. So I know this flag is going deeper. So now once I see this cross, this is my official entry. Entry here, stop loss underneath my previous low. Continuation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
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 Is there anyone on here who did not just understand that?
Wait, can we bring that back one more time? I'm trying to get it. I'm really trying so hard here. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm really sorry.
Oh, what I tell y'all last weekend? Do not apologize for not man, don't do that. You learning. It's cool. So remember, we identified this was one entry, right? Why was this one entry?
Because it came after our flag.
Okay, right. Why was this our second opportunity to enter?
Because it came after another flag.
Okay, cool. Now, why did we say this is our third opportunity to enter? Don't look right. Don't look right at all. Doesn't this, from right here, looking left, look a lot like this? Looking left?
Yes.
The exact same thing. That's why we enter here, right? You focused on all of this over here. We don't know this has happened yet. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yes.
So we enter here, and at the time, we went up almost 37 pips from there. 35 pips, 37 pips, whatever the case may be, right? Now we at what? Break even, right? Like somebody said earlier. We at break even, stop losses at break even. We 35 pips. Price is coming back. What happens when price comes back? Nobody?
We got another
What cross, guys? What cross?
No.
Got another cross.
Yeah, but what happens when price comes back and hits our moving stop loss?
Get back in.
It took us out.
It just took us out, right?
For
Right.
another entry.
Exactly. So I'm basic, guys. I told you, I'm not here to trick nobody. It took us out. When it came back, it took us out. If I didn't take my profits and I had my stop loss at break even or just above, whatever, it took us out. So at that point, like somebody just said, I'm looking for another entry. Remember, my question is it a buy or sell anymore? I've been new in the buy. That's out the question, right? I know we're in the buy. I'm just looking for my buy entry. I'm not straining myself. Now I'm just looking for the buy entry. So I see this. When do I look to buy? I just look to buy once it goes back into crossing back above that 50 EMA. Right here, buy, stop loss underneath. So from that entry to that stop loss, $26 pips. 26 pips stop loss. 250 pip take profit.
10 times. That's 10 to 1, guys. You can't beat that.
Does that make sense?
Yes, Terrell, I want to know how you move your stop loss when you're in profit. I hear you, but I don't really see it.
Y'all don't understand. You don't know how to move stop losses?
No, I haven't been trading much, but no.
Okay.
You know how they say when you're in profit, you need to move your stop loss up.
Right.
So you're going to move it up to where you're at, to the entry. I just need to visually see what I always hear it, but I need to visually see it.
Well, I can't like visually show you because like the market closed, so I'm not able to get in a trade. But what I can try my best to explain it, right? So let's say, for instance, and this is being recorded as well, so just in case you got to go back. This is price. Let's say I enter price here, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna actually go on something we actually talked about. So let's say I enter at this cross, and let's say my stop loss was. So let's say my entry was at 124,443, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Let's say this is my entry, and my stop loss is where? Right here, 26 pip stop loss. This is my stop loss. So I literally entered, before I even tell you all that, do you understand how to set stop losses and take profits in your phone as you're in MetaTrader 4?
Yes.
You do. So you do know how to do that. Okay, cool. Okay. So you know how you would originally put your stop loss in when somebody tell you stop loss 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So when I originally got in this trade, this is what MetaTrader 4 told me my entry was, 1.24443, right? And he told me put a stop loss in for 1.24167. So that's what I did. Bingo. Make sense so far?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Now I let the trade run. Guess what? I'm up. Heck, I don't know. I'm going to just go 30 pips. I'm up 30 pips at this point. So now this is what price is currently at. Let me take that. Matter of fact, yeah, let me just take this. Hopefully this doesn't confuse you. Matter of fact, I'll write a little note just so it doesn't. Current price here now. Current price. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now we're just going to say 30 pips. So somebody say, move your stop loss up, 30 pips in profit. You know this is where you at, correct? All right. Move your stop loss up. Now, where's my stop loss before they told me to move it up? Where's my stop loss at?
The first line here, the first yellow line at the bottom.
At the very bottom, right? Right. So now all I literally do is take this line. Now, it's not going to be the line, but it's going to be the number. So I would just go to my MetaTrader 4. What's actually, this number will actually become a number right in front or the same number as where this is at. So me, I like to put my stop loss just above my entry because if it comes back, they won't take their little fees out and I still lose a couple of dollars or cents. So now this is my new stop loss. Stop loss is now 124490. So if price decides to come back, guess what? It hits the stop loss before it gets back to my entry. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I know it wasn't like physically seeing it as far as like on the app, but that's all it is. All you're doing is literally taking the number that you put in, that you had in down here. Now you put a number up here in before, so that don't knock, so it hits that number. If it comes back, it hits that number and it takes you out in profit or at break even for the most part.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
All right, so now as prices continuing to move all the way up, guess what? You just continue to keep moving this up as price keep going up. So that go up only when this goes up. Your current price. Now at this point it's more than 30 pips, but this keeps going up. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So now if it decides to take you out, it's take you out with more money in your pocket. Because down here, your profit, you would have probably profited $6. Now with your stop loss up here, now and it hits that, it takes you out at, I don't know, $200, whatever. Just depends. Cool?
Okay. Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Great, thanks.
Any other questions? And I know I said 26 pip stop loss with a 200 pip take profit. That's actually even bigger. That take profit would have been somewhere around 500 or 600 pips. All right, there you go. Any questions on any of that? Everybody confused, nobody confused, everybody get it, nobody get it. Talk to me.
I get it.
That was great.
I get it.
Understand. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Cool. So don't have a lot of time left. Does anybody want to go over an example real quick? Everybody pretty much good. Y'all good on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So really quick, I'm gonna show you how because we're running for time, I would need to get on my laptop to actually hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. Let me see if I can still do it real quick. See if I can still do it. Y'all hear a slight echo real fast. Forgive me, I'm gonna just put my desktop on mute. I need my laptop though if I'm gonna show you all my actual spreadsheet. So if I'm not able to do it, then I'll just do it without the spreadsheet. I just want to give you all more of a visual of why things like this is important. Try to pull it up. Zoom ID. Can you all hear me? Hold on. Am I? Leave that on here. All right. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
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 Okay, cool. No echo, right?
No. Nope, it's good.
Okay, cool. So, laptop is getting old, so if it give me too much troubles, because we only got 20 minutes left, I'm going to just say forget it. So y'all forgive me. Let me pull this up. Spreadsheet. You all can see my screen, correct?
Yes.
All right. So pull the market up. For the most part. Delete some of this mess. I don't get on here a lot. I get on here when I'm lazy and I'm on IML TV. So I'll just like sit in the bed or something just so I can watch Mario Salindo or somebody. It's pretty much the only time I'm on here now. And also using my spreadsheet. All right. So now I do not give out these spreads. Only people who literally get the spreadsheet is my personal private student. So I will not be giving this out to anyone, just so you all know before anybody asks. But I'm going to show you the concept of it, and you do not need this particular spreadsheet. Gigi showed you all something at the very beginning of the Bootcamp, and it was a great app. I didn't even know about that till she showed you all. You all can use that same exact thing. So before I actually get into how we physically compound the money, I want you all to understand this. So let's say, for instance, I have a $5,000 account. $5,000 account, right? So right here it says my starting account is $5,000. My starting account, $5,000. Understand the left side right here is for, what does it say right here?
Profit per day.
Profit per day.
What does it say right here?
My loss per day.
Loss, right? I tell people this all the time. You should never be in a trade. Never, ever, ever be in a trade and not know how much you're risking. That's why most people can't swing trade in the first place. They're so freaking scared because they don't know how much they're going to lose if it ends up hitting that stop loss. But guess what? If I'm in a trade and I know how much I'm risking to lose, I don't even have to go in there and look at the trade most of the time anyways. Does that make sense?
Yes, it
Yeah,
makes sense.
yes.
Right. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
This is literally my go-to. This is my Bible when it comes to me being inside trades. So everything is always calculated off of what? Percentages. The reason why it's percentages is because we can't just sit here and tell people to become your own bank and you don't act like a bank. What do banks base everything off of?
Percentages.
Percentages. They don't look at money as money. They look at it as percentages. Everything you do, when you finance something, you pay them back in XYZ percent. Anytime they loan out money, you get back XYZ percent based off of that, like late fees. You get your late fee contract is based off of percentage. Everything you do in trading should be based off percentages. Adding and subtracting your account by percentages. Like you're literally building yourself a system. If you want trading to pay you like a system or a trade pay you like a business, you have to treat it as such. And every business has a system. This is a system. So you have to do that. So if I start out with a trading account with $5,000 and I get in the trade and I'm only willing to, I only want to lose, I'm only looking to gain 4% on this trade. Not only gain, that's a lot, but I want to gain 4% off of this specific trade that I'm getting in. And I only want to risk 2%. This will literally tell me, like right here where you see stop loss, this is my favorite, like this is the most important chart, the part of this entire chart. Stop loss. Before you enter a trade, you know what your stop loss is going to be. Let's say I got a 30 pip stop loss. Now watch lot size right here. Once I hit enter, it's literally telling me 30-cent lot size. It's telling me if I want to risk 2% on a 30 pip stop loss, my lot size should be 0.30. Now it's telling me also at that same exact time to gain 4%, it's $200. My winnings that day or that trade should be $200. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions with that?
No.
No.
I see something in the chat, so we can make this. I'm sure you can. Yeah, you can. Also, Gigi, again, I don't know if she want to say something. She showed you all that app. I don't know all the ins and outs, like if it was something different from what you all see on here, but what it looked a lot like what she pulled up that day, that had the exact same thing.
Yeah, there's a spreadsheet I have similar to this that an IML educator created, and it's just got another tab like that you can put your daily trading rules and stuff like that. But I'll give it to you guys because an IML educator actually made one similar, and he said anybody could have it. So I give it out on ForexNChill a couple times. I'll give it to you guys.
Cool.
Gigi, I have
Thank
a question for you. I've seen several of those types of spreadsheets, and they're all really helpful in the beginning. And then I look at it toward the bottom when the numbers get to a significant level, and the lot sizes are just like.
You just have to know how to do formulas in an Excel spreadsheet if you want to make any adjustments.
I mean, but you know, like the lot sizes get up to, you know, thousands.
Well, I actually know somebody trading with 300 standards and stacking. I mean, people do trade with the 1,000 lot size. It's still
Really?
proper risk management.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
Go
see,
on.
like you're focused on what it says at the bottom with lot size. You're not focused on where your account is at that point.
Yeah, I
I mean,
just
like,
thought that
I have a
even for those
personal
larger
friend that-
accounts, it still seemed like it would be such a huge number, but you're saying it's all just relative, basically.
Yeah, like I have a friend who made $425,000 in 1 week, a personal friend. So he's not trading off two standards, and his account is definitely not $2,000. So he's got a 7-figure account. So his 2% is not going to be the same as my 2%.
Right, because it's percentages. Forget the number. It don't matter if you got a $5,000 account, $500 account, $5 million account. Percent is a percent. That's why, like, you gotta, like, don't look at the number. Look at the what? The percent. That's what you got to do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, really, really quick, I want you all to look at this because I'm gonna get back on my laptop in a minute. The reason why I'm showing you all this is because what this is showing me now, this says days. This is telling me if I was to keep this same percentage through each through each trade that I got in, and 30 trades, not 30, they say 30 days, but 30 trades, 30 days, because like me as a swing trader, I'm not literally looking for trades every single day. I'm just not doing that. I look for the best setups, right? This is telling me that $5,000 account, just going for 4% and risking 2% in 30 trades, that $5,000 account will now be $15,593. Does that make sense? Now,
Yeah,
what I'm about to
definitely.
show, what'd you say?
I'm just saying definitely.
Okay, cool. So what I'm about to show you all is literally how I take my style of trading and how I can turn this day one, or trade one, I should say, how I can make trade one actually, I can get to trade day, I can get to trade 8, trade 9, trade 10, and I'm still on trade one. And I'm risk-free for the most part throughout the entire time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let me try to do it on my laptop. Let me do it on my laptop first, so that just in case I gotta come back through. Just in case. So I'm gonna go to EU, just because it's the top one, right? So can anybody tell me how the market moves?
Impulse,
Impulse,
correction,
flag,
continuation.
Post flag continuation, right? So let's take this entire downtrend right here. It's not the cleanest downtrend, but I'm not here to like have this look good for you all. I'm here to so you all can actually understand what I do, right? So what I do literally is anytime I enter a trade, now can somebody tell me what did my spreadsheet tell me my lot size should be? Risking 2% to gain 5%.
A 0.3.
0.3.
0.30, right? Anytime I enter the market, anytime I get in the trade, I get in twice. Every single time, I get in twice. Now, if this is telling me 0.30, what should my lot size be?
0.15.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
0.15.
0.15, right? So that's a 0.15 twice. It's still the same thing. Still the same trade. I mean, so it's still the same number, I'm sorry. So with that being said, now think about this. Because some people are like, well, that means I just get in 0.30 twice, right? I'm risking up. No, you can get in at 0.15. That's still that same 30-cent lot size. Now, just for purposes of us actually, so we actually can do the math cleaner. In my head, I'm just gonna say standards. Well, you know what? I'm not even gonna say standards. I'll say 50-cent lot size. Let's just do two. Let's pretend this said 50 cent. This spreadsheet said 50 cent. It say 30 cent. Matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go, so I'm not pretending with you all. I'm gonna do a smaller stop loss so it can give us a bigger. So I'm gonna do 20 pips, which is good. Yeah, 50 cent, right? 20 pips stop loss. I should always know what my stop loss is before I even enter the trade. So it's telling me a 50-cent lot size, right? So now I do two trades, two orders of what? 25 cent, correct? Make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
So I got 2 orders right here. Boom, boom. Same like entries or whatever. 50-cent lot size when it's all said and done. Now, price goes to here. I'm up, let's say, I'm going to just say 50 pips for the most part. It say 45, but just for math purposes, I'm going to just say 50 pips. At 50 pips on 50 cent, how much money am I up?
250.
500.
Said 500? No, that's a standard. That's not a
250.
250, $250. Exactly. I'm up $250 between 2 orders because I got 25 and 25. So that's 125 and 125. Does that make sense so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now remember, I'm in 2 orders, 125 and 125. Now at this point, how does the market move?
Impulse flag continuation.
This flag is telling me what?
That the market is correcting itself.
That a continuation is coming back soon. That's coming, right?
Yeah.
Because it's flagging, correct? So we all understand that. So guess what? Once I get this to 125, this order is now closed. This order is now, I'm risk-free. I'm up 50 pips. So now stop loss moved in front of I'm in risk-free trade. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? So
Yeah.
now I'm up. How much money do I have secured, guys?
250.
250.
125.
I got 125 secured. I still got the rest inside the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Got it.
So you close one order and you still let the other one run.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, got it.
Now let's go to this, right? So what does it say on day 1? My actual trade should be at for my 5%.
250.
So technically, guess what? I've already reached day 1, right?
Correct.
Bingo. Think about that, right? But guess what? We still in the game. So now that I'm still in the game and I already pretty much reached my first goal, my stop loss is moved up here, right? A flag is telling me what? It's a confirmation for what again?
Continuation.
A continuation.
Exactly. So guess what I do again? I enter again. When I enter, I never go above my original lot size that I did. It's either the same lot size or just underneath, whatever. It can be half, whatever, however you want to do it. So if I came in at 50 cent, guess what I'm going to do?
50 cent again.
50 cent again.
50 cent again.
There you go. 50 cent again, 25 cent, however you want to do it. For math purposes, I'm going to just say 50 cent again, just for the simple fact of me, like it's easier for me to go through the math, right? So 50 cent again. So I just secured $125. I'm up $125 for the most part on my other one, risk-free. Think about that. Now, if I get in at 50 cent here, this stop loss is going to be at the exact same stop loss as my moving stop loss from my first order up top. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
Yes.
Right. So at this point, if this trade hits my stop loss, am I losing any money?
No.
Why am I not losing any money?
Because you already secured.
Number one, I'm not losing money because I already secured my money. Not only that, even if it hits the stop loss of my moving stop loss of my first order, it takes me out in profit. So I just lost some of the money that I already won. At this point, I'm risk-free. Does that make sense?
Yep.
It was the market's money.
Exactly. Hey, bingo. None of my money from my only risk anytime I ever get in a trade, my only risk is always here, the very beginning. And as you all can see during market structure, this week alone told you all that most of the times the market does exactly what we expect to do it almost every time. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So now at this point, stop loss here, new entry here with 50 cent lot size, a new 50 cent. I still got this 25 cent here. Now let's go. We got that continuation as expected. Boom. We're going to say this was, I don't know, let's say 100 pips just because make the math easier. What's 50 cent lot size on 100 pips?
500.
Matter of fact,
100.
let's just do 80 pips. Gigi, what's that with 80 pips?
400.
400 bucks, right? So now this 50-cent lot size, right? I'm sorry, this 50-cent lot size is now up 400 bucks. What is this 25 pip lot size up? Now that we're up, not only just the 50 pips, but now we up 50 plus 80 is what?
130.
130.
Now that we up 130 pips. How much is this first order? How much are we up on this first order? 25 cent with 130 pip lot size. I mean, with 130 pip take profit. I mean,
340, 360 around that.
Somewhere around 360, right? See, I usually when I do this, I always like to do standards because it's like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to get, I want to be more on tack with you all because I don't get to see you all the time. With my students, like they can just come back and this and that. So I want to kind of be as like, you know, technical as I possibly can. So let's say you said 340, right? Let's go with 340, 360, somewhere in that area. This first order is now up 360 bucks, right? 360 bucks. And this second one, that was a 50-cent lot size that gave us 80 pips. How much was that?
400.
$400. So that's $400 on one order, $360 on another. Now remember, the $400, this is a flag. I mean, what am I doing with this in this flag? I'm securing that 400 bucks. So how much money at this point do I have secured?
525.
525.
Right, because I did 125 at the first time. Now I just did 400 at this time. 400, $525, and guess what? This one is now at 360 bucks. Stop loss moved up even more, right? Risk free. So now we have 525.
Excuse me, are you securing the 400 by closing it out
Yeah, you
there, or
close
by
that out.
moving up your stop loss?
No, you close that out. That's why I deleted it off. It's closed out.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's why we do two orders. One order continues to get closed out. Now we have $525 altogether. What day are we at right now at this point?
Day
three.
We're at day 3, but how many? Well, trade 3, day 3, however you want to do it. But how many trades or days did we do this? Did we get in?
3 trades.
3 trades for that day.
No, it's only one trade. We only in
One
one
trade and 3 entries.
Right. We are only in one trade though. This is per trade. So we still in one trade. This is literally telling you to compound every trade. You should do this lot size, that lot size, this and that. We're doing all of this in one trade. All of this has happened in one trade, literally. So right now I done made 525 and I'm up 325. Well, yeah, I made 525 so far and I'm up 340, 360 and another one. So what's that all together? 525 plus 360, that's eight something. The math.
885.
Yeah, I'm about up 900 bucks. Theoretically. So where am I at right here when it comes to trades or trading days? 900 bucks. A $900 increase, where am I at?
About day 4, around there.
More towards day 5. Right in between day 4, day 5. You're not wrong. I'm a little bit above day 4 or trade 4 because it's at 788. I'm at 9 something. Right? So with that being said, do you all understand that?
Yes.
Is this making sense or are you all confused?
This is amazing.
Now understand, guys, this entire time, I'm still risk-free. So now, guess what? Stop loss moved up, right? This got secured. Now, what do I do again?
We lost the screen.
Can't see a screen. Y'all don't, okay, let me zoom. It says it's still sharing. There you go. Right? Okay, what do I do again?
Enter again.
Enter again.
What is this again? What is this?
A setup for a continuation.
This is a flag, right?
Yeah.
Now, with this flag right here, I understand what's going to happen. We're going to get a continuation again at some point. Now, we already done went over how we look to enter the market. We already know the highs and lows. We know we sell high, we buy low, X, Y, Z. So I look for another entry. Guess what? I do another either 50-cent lot size or something underneath, right? So I enter there. Stop loss goes where?
At
Where
the
does
top
this?
of the flag.
Not at the top of the flag. Well, you're not wrong.
At the previous.
It goes to the exact same stop loss as my original order, which is right here, where that moving stop loss is now at, right? This is my moving stop loss. This new entry at this flag, stop loss goes there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right. Yes. So now we go to the next continuation. Boom, another 80 pips. Hey, let's just go all the way down. Let's say 100 pips on another 50-cent lot size. Where's that 50-cent lot size on 100 pips at now? $500, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So another $500 that got secured. That's 500. Where is this at? This at the point was at 360 plus another 100 pips on the 25-cent lot size is what? Nobody know?
250.
Right, $250. So 250 plus 360 is what?
580.
Oh, 580. So at this point, at the very bottom of here, I'm up $1,080. A clean cut $1,000. Does that make sense? Now, because I saw this channel right here, what did I decide to do?
Prepare
Close all
for
profits. Close all profits.
Thank you. Close all profits. So I just closed $1,000 plus the original 500 plus dollars that I already secured. So now let's say that $5,000 is now at somewhere close to or above $6,500. What day am I at?
7.
Boom.
Awesome.
All in one day. All in one trade. Instead of me going trade by trade, trying to boom, 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 boom. Now I've skipped and this telling me in 30 trades, 30 trading days, that $5,000 account is going to be at $20,000, almost $21,000. But now I can take that $20,000. We just went up 7 days. So another 7 days, I'll be at day close to 14. And that's just going off of that same percentage. What if I'm chasing 6%? Because my money grow, what if it allows me to do a bigger lot size? What if my stop loss doesn't have to be 20 cents? What if my stop loss can be, 20 pips? What if my stop loss can be 15 pips and I gotta, my lot size is telling me my lot size can be a standard now based off of the percentage that I'm looking for because of the opportunity. Does that make sense?
Yes.
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 So do you all understand how you compound your money without even risking your money? Like people think, man, it's just, man, I want this $100 account to get to 10,000. And it's just going, every time I get in a trade, no, because why? You know, you win and you lose trades. You know, losing is a part of it. You know, you can lose. So how can I maximize the most amount of money in my wins? In one trade. That's one pair. At this point, let's not even talk about the other pairs I'm probably in right now. We just went over EU. What if I'm in EU and GU? Like a lot of people like to do. Does that make sense?
Can we go back to that screen, Terrell?
Give me 1 second. This one or?
The other one. Sure.
Give me 1 second. My laptop is slow. Let me pull it up for you. Right here?
Yeah. So my question is, where and when did you decide to close out the trades? Why wouldn't you continue this rolling stop loss down to the bottom of the channel and close it there?
Well, we did. We closed it down here.
Okay. I misunderstood.
Okay, but yeah. Can you tell me why I closed, though? Why did I close?
Because it's going to go to a reversal. You need to put
bingo. You see it? Exactly. Do you see how you all are taking the knowledge you gain and you added it and put it all into compounding your money.
The whole is becoming greater than the sum of its parts.
There you go. You guys don't even know, like, this whole time I've been prepping you all to know all of this. It's all one big puzzle. Like I said earlier today, one big puzzle. And when it's all said and done, you can piece it all together. You got all the pieces now. Now you're just putting them in place. And this is it. This is it. It's literally like, they're not going to teach you all this. Like, you go pay all this money, whether you go pay to go, like, take these 2-day courses, and they're not going to, like, man, these people just try to get you out your money. They just want to show you strategies. They're not going to show you, they're not going to tell you, like, compound your money properly and how to compound it in. And you know, like, they want you to believe they doing 10 to 15 standards and they doing what they're doing. No, at some point they started exactly where a lot of you all at. They have to grow it somehow. This is the way I had to grow it. Like, I was at the point where I would make a bunch of money and then I would give it right back. And it was just frustrating. I told you, it sounds good when you hear that 6 figures in 7 months. I went through a lot of trial and errors in that 7 months. When I say it today, when I tell you 6 figures in 7 months, I promise you it felt like 10 years. I promise you it felt like 10 years. Hands down. A lot of ups and downs in that. A lot of trial and error in that. I just decided to go through it faster. Why? I knew I had to go through it anyways. One of my old businesses, like, they used to always say, fast is fun, slow sucks. I didn't want to go slow. So what I'm doing with you all is I'm helping you all to, like, I didn't know this was even a thing, right? Nobody told me this. When I first got in, this lady told me that they showed me this little 90-day spreadsheet, and in 90 days, I can be XYZ. I can be here. I can be there in 90 days based off of that. Number one, they ain't tell me they was about to lose most of the trades. And number two, they ain't tell me I needed to know how to properly compound my money. Nobody told me how I can be risk-free throughout the entire thing. Well, not the entire thing, but through most of my trading. I didn't know any of that. They're not going to teach you this, right? So, anyways, unshare my screen. I know that's pretty much our time.
Yeah, Terrell, tell them what somebody's asking about withdrawals. Tell them what you told me. So when you take your initial deposit out.
What you mean?
Like, they're asking when should they make their first withdrawal. Terrell told me, I had doubled my account. He said, take your money out. He said, now you are not losing anything.
Yeah, you take your money out, depending on what your withdrawal, what your, where your account at and what you just made. Like, you can take out a treat, but you always take, I remember, Gigi hit me up, showed me what she made, get your money out of there. At that point, you playing with their money. Get your money out of there. That should be the first rule. Like, right now, I have over a 6-figure account, but if you was to just look at my MetaTrader 4, you would think I only had $20,000 in my account. Why? Because I don't take that money out because, like, the bank can see, my bank can see it, but that's why the brokers have wallets. That money's sitting in a wallet. I'm not playing with, like, these people don't want you to win. Every time I withdraw, Hugo's Way give me a call. FX Choice is emailing me every time. They trying to make sure you're you. No, they ain't gonna well on me. You ain't seeing if I'm me when I'm losing my money. You don't care who it is when you making the money, but when I'm withdrawing, you want to make sure I'm trying to withdraw, right? So yeah, they don't want you to make money, guys. You all have to, like, understand, like, man, you got to play the game. We retail traders, man. Start acting like it. Treat yourself like a business. And you always withdraw you should always withdraw when you've made your money. Like, take your money out of there. Get your money out of there. A lot of my money's sitting in a wallet now. I had a conversation with one of my guys. He had $120,000 sitting in on his broker. I'm like, do you do that so it can just look good for people when they see? I don't care if people think I got $2,000 in my trading account, $400 in my trading account. I don't care what they look at and see at the top. So I can give the brokers room to take my money? Nah, I'm straight. You ain't finna spike GN up 500 pips on me in a second and then say X, Y. Nah, I'm cool. That bad boy sitting right there in the wallet. That's it. So, anyways.
Hey, one last thing, Terrell, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but like, can you give them example of what you were able to do recently in like 6 weeks, just so they'll know where they can get to? Guys, this time next year, like I was sitting in this boot camp last year and it phenomenally changed my life. That's all I can say. But like, you can take a small account and really do big things once you learn this, and without over leveraging.
Oh yeah. So I forgot about how long it was. It was about probably a little bit over 6 weeks now. I was in NIU. I was at a college dorm room, and I told them I put $2,000 into an account or whatever, and I showed them this and that. I told them like, I'm gonna turn this into XYZ. They didn't believe me. They laughed. XYZ. You know, we just having fun. And in about a month and a half, I turned that $2,000 to right now it's at $45,000. At the time I told Gigi, I think Gigi, did I tell you it's at 35 or 30?
Yeah, you had taken it from 2,000 to 30,000 in like a month.
Yeah, it was something like a month. I didn't over leverage. I didn't like none of that. So right now it was at 50, but I took a nasty loss on GCAT this week because that sucker kept spiking up or whatever. But it's at about 42, 43,000 now or whatever. Yeah.
That's somebody's annual salary, guys, in like 2 months.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And like he said, he has well over 6 figures in there, but he's not risking that. He doesn't need to risk his whole 6 figures to make that. What if the market had just like went crazy and went against him or something happened? It's a wallet on your broker, Stephanie. You can move money into your MT4, but you can also set it aside in a wallet so it's not affected by your trading account.
Yeah, so if you look, you see your, like most people look at your balance on your MetaTrader 4, like you got your, like however much you got, let's say you put $1,000 into your account, you're literally, you have $1,000 at risk in the market, right? But let's say that same $1,000, you only you kept 500 in your wallet. Now you got the other 500 that you're willing to risk in the market. That's the difference, right? You still got the $1,000 because you can take the $1,000 and trade it, but they're not gonna base your trades based off of that entire $1,000, just that $500.
Terrell, can you share with us how much you started with to make that 6 figures in 7 months?
2,000.
And you use the same compounding method that you're teaching us today?
Of course. I wouldn't be showing you something. I told you guys, like, I'm like, just like last week when I showed you my entries, I showed you all those pictures. I'm not saying anything to you that I didn't already do, like, or that I don't already do myself.
This is amazing. Thank you for sharing all this.
Okay, and Terrell, do you take out money monthly, and how do you know how much to take out and what to leave in after you've taken out your initial amount?
I mean, those are personal goals. I can't really tell you. Like one thing that I did, and I told my father this, when I first left my job, I got an account strictly where it just pays me my job salary. Like, I just want that. I don't want to be over greedy. I don't, whatever I made on a every 2 week basis, that's what I'm looking to make the same. So if I made $400 or $500 a week, guess what I'm looking to make in the market? $400 or $500. Sometimes I only make $300. Sometimes I may lose some money in that. Sometimes I go for $300-400 and end up making $1,000, right? It just really depends. Like, you have to have your goals. I got my goals. I can't sit here and tell you, oh, every week you need to, or every month you need to withdraw X, Y. Like, you got to have your goals. Nobody knows your household. Nobody knows your life better than you. I can't sit here and tell you exactly what to do. I can just recommend, like me, I have a base salary type of account, and then I have my big account. My big account allows me to play around more. But at the same time, I don't want to go and jag that just because I have more money in there. But I have that for different things. Then I got my account, my job account. My job account is exactly just like my job paid me XYZ. that's what I've been running my life off of as far as on living on my own. So I want to make sure I'm continuously bringing that in. That's not including all my other incomes that's coming in through other sources, right? So I want trading to become my job, and I want to build assets in other places. That's it. I told you. I don't, like, you hear people talk that millionaire stuff. I want to be a millionaire XYZ, or I want to be a, like, you even hear some people got their name as Billionaire Bob or whatever. Like, people talk a lot. But are you studying what these millionaires and billionaires are doing? And do you have a plan in place? And most people, I literally had a conversation earlier because somebody was mad. A young lady I was talking to, she was upset that she's at a certain age now, and her goal was to be a millionaire by this age, and she's not close. And I'm like, well, did you want it, or did you really prepare for it? And she asked, what do you mean? And I'm like, if you got to ask, what do I mean? That lets me know right then and there, you haven't prepared for it. You're not prepared. So how you going to be something you're not? Like, you don't become a millionaire. Like, you're not a millionaire. You become a millionaire. You have to become that person first. Like, that's it. You can't do nothing without a goal. Can't do nothing without a plan. You got to have the proper plans in place. And talking to that person, I can tell that person didn't have it. So I'm like, we just gotta sit down and we gotta have it. We gotta have a conversation on what you should be doing. What should you be bringing in every single week? You gotta dumb it down. I literally got postcards in my house right now where I got making a consistent 5 figures a week in the market, making XYZ in residual income, making this and this business. Like, I know what should be happening. I know what life will start looking like with these different incomes coming in. I know how these sources are gonna look. Like, I'm already on that frequency. Like, I recommend if people haven't never listened to Bob Proctor, I know this is outside of trading, but hey, man, honestly, it's not outside of trading because we all know trading is 98% mental, 2% physical. Learning how to chart and all that stuff's easy. But if your mental ain't right, then you can forget about it. And there's nobody on this earth that I personally know or ever heard or ever met that's better at talking about mentality than Bob Proctor. And Bob Proctor, that's all he preached. Multiple sources of income. Multiple sources, and having a plan, being on a paradigm of where your actual mentality is. You have to be there before it happens in the physical form. That's it. So don't, like, I say all that to say, like, I really do this. I'm a real student of the game. I'm a student of life, right? I'm a student of life. Like, don't just talk. Don't just, like, dreams and aspirations are great. It's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, but don't be somebody who, because at some point you're not dreaming anymore. You're hoping. And we don't hope. Hope makes you nothing. Everybody hopes. Everybody go buy a lottery ticket, hope. They hope to win. We put the work in. And with the work, you got to be planned out. You got to be sourced. Like, you got to know where you're going, right? So anyway, I'm sorry. I'm in a ramble on y'all. We over 15 minutes. So any other questions before we get out of here? Like,
they like that mindset and that motivation. I can tell you guys, I used to buy the occasional lottery ticket. Since I started trading Forex, I can't really remember when I don't even buy them anymore. I'm like, this is my lottery.
Yep.
You got the winning ticket in your hand right here.
Yeah, that's it. I know I just seen somebody say they got a dream board in their condo. That's great. Make a dream environment. Make your condo a dream. Don't just look at the board. Nah, you should walk in your room and you see inside your room, you see the bed set you always wanted. You should go to the bathroom and you should see like a picture of the curtains and the floors and your dream bathroom. Like, make a dream environment. You should see these things every time you walk through something. Not just when you walk in one room and you see the board, right? Man, I'm telling you, like, I used to be that person where I had a vision board, right? And I got sticky notes all across my like right now, I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I got that written everywhere in every room of my house. that I'm actually at. I got multiple sources coming from everywhere. Why do I say everywhere? Because I want multiple streams of income. That's what billionaires have. Because I have multiple, because I want income coming from everywhere, guess where I write that down at? Everywhere. That's written everywhere in my home right now. Plain and simple. It's not just written on my board. That's it. No, I don't want it on my board. I want it on my wall. I want it on, my front room. I want it right next to the TV. Like, I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes from me on a continuous basis from all different sources. Plain and simple. That's it. So if I want it coming from everywhere, I need to write it down everywhere. I got a card that I walk out my house with every day. You'll think that card was my wallet. You'll think it was a paycheck. Money, cash. Like that card says whatever I want is written down on that card. Every time I touch it, plain and simple, I think about it. So yeah, guys, like, man. Anyways, yep, that's what it is. I apologize if I'm like going. I know I this is what I do, guys. Like, this is me, man. Like, this is my journey. People I know, somebody asked me a while back, I think it was on Forex and Chill actually. Somebody asked me like, man, now that you quit your job, what's next? I'm like, what's next? Like, you talking like that was the end goal. That was just the beginning of the journey, right? Like, I've been working, guys. Like, man, this trading, like, man, we at the very beginning of this, my trading stages. Like, this is my first full year. Really, I spent all last year trying to figure this thing out. Honestly, I came in the game in January, knew absolutely nothing. Didn't even know trading was a thing last year, January. Met my mentor early March, somewhere in that area. Started working with him. Took the knowledge that I gained from him in those 2-3 months that we was working. Put $2,000 in the account at the end of May or whatever. By the end of the year, so 7 months later, 6 months later or whatever, I turned that to $100,000. That started giving me options. The point is, I say all that to say, that was just the base where, like, man, that was the figure it out stage, right? Now I come into the new year, boom, first week, $10,000, right? Okay, second 2-3 months later, I'm sitting here, and at this point, I'm having a debate. I actually had a conversation with Gigi. My first time going to Myrtle Beach, me, her, Lindor, a couple of other people, I sat there, had a conversation. I'm thinking about leaving my job, this and that. I think I'm ready. I got some words from people who've been there. I left. And it's like ever since then, that was back in June. Back in June, when I left my job, my income has been growing drastically since then. Drastically. But it's because my mentality was there. I didn't see myself going back to a job. I felt like I would have been holding myself back. 6 months later, I see I was right. I would have been holding myself back, right? You got to know where you're going. You got to know where you're at. Don't just be sitting on here hoping and praying, guys. I'm all about spiritual, but that's not what's going to just do it. You want, just like you want the spiritual, you want the physical and the mental, not just the spiritual. Don't just go pray. You have to, the physical is the action. The mental, you have to be on that paradigm. Right? You got to be there. You got to see it before it happens. Don't just pay your money for a training and say, oh my God, like this, like, yeah, like, oh my God, like this and that. And then you don't put the physical in it. You after today, you don't go mark up your 25 charts every single week for the next 6 months. Don't do that. Because now you just prolonged your life another 6 months. And as we all know, nobody is guaranteed to be here forever. Fast is fun, slow sucks. Right? So you all, man, guys, like, man, take this knowledge, use these recordings, man, and really, really buckle down on this thing, man. Because, like, this is just the beginning, guys. This ain't the end. This is not the end. This is just the beginning. A year from now, man, like, I should be coming to some of you all seminars and, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, stuff like that. Like, for real. Man, where your life can go in a year, man, I'm not just a testament of it, but man, I just walked you through my year journey. But Gigi, this year, last year, I had just made $16,000. I was in a boot camp, my very first boot camp last year, this time. Guess who was a brand new student in that boot camp? Gigi, this time last year. She was a brand new student, knew absolutely nothing. She just heard me and my partners, and I want to follow them. I want to see what y'all doing. She became a student in the boot camp. 1 year later, guess what she's hosting? A lot can happen in a year, guys. But one thing that Gigi got that a lot of people that I've known my entire life, including some family members, don't have is work ethic, consistency. That's it. That's all you have to do. There's no secret to this, man. It's no secret at all. So, any questions for me?
Thank you, Terrell. Appreciate it.
I think you left him speechless.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, Terrell. Thanks a lot.
And Gigi, thank you, Gigi.
Thank you guys for offering this.
Thank you.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
So y'all make sure y'all stay in touch and stay tight in the group because Terrell will tell you when he learned, you know, him and Marios were tight and iron sharpens iron. Now they're both so successful. They're both under the age of 30. And it's just amazing. Their lives are forever changed and they're changing other lives. So yeah, y'all got the group. Y'all Zoom together, drop charts together. Don't leave anybody behind. Y'all make this money together.
Thank you so much.
Very true. Thank you for that, Gigi. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Gigi. Appreciate you.
Now we have hope.
Thank you so much, Gigi. Thank you, Grant. Thank you, Terrell.
No problem. So before we get out of here, does anybody have any last minute questions? How did this go? Everybody satisfied? Likes, dislikes? I always like to ask, you know what I'm saying?
Send me the survey.
It was great, right?
It was absolutely amazing. Yep.
This was phenomenal.
It was well worth it.
So much.
Very good. Very informational.
Thank you for the videos.
Definitely got a lot of nuggets. Lots and lots of nuggets.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. All right, guys. So I don't know if Gigi, you got any last words you want to, before we cut out and everything?
Nothing more than y'all apply it. The knowledge doesn't become wisdom until you apply it. You got the knowledge, now you got to apply it. It turns into wisdom.